Hi everyone, it's Leo here. Now before I start this video, I just want to make sure that every single one of you is keeping safe during this pandemic. Now I hope your loved ones and everything are all in safety, and it's really a black swan event that no one expected. And I hope like one day our grandkids aren't going to be like, "Oh granddad, what was the pandemic of 2020? Like, no, this is a serious thing, so you should take all the precautionary measures, you know, wherever you are in the world. So I hope you're all doing fine. I've been wanting to start this YouTube channel for a long time now, and I don't know, I've kind of been like a bit worried somehow, like, oh, people will judge me, you know, because I'm on YouTube or whatever. People I know will watch this and be like, oh, Leo only has 12 subscribers, haha. And anyway, I think it's pretty stupid. I mean, you know, people should get over their fears because, you know, life is too short to be worried about that. So I don't want a medal or anything for being brave, so please don't give that, you know. But what you can do is smash the like button before this video. Anyway, back onto the video. I know from the title this seems a bit clickbaity. Oh, how to turn $1 into $10, you know. So yeah. The trick is, you know, it's not that easy, obviously, you know. It takes a lot of time and some effort, but it can absolutely be done, all right? So there's a couple methods to do this, all right? The first thing I would advise anyone to do, all right, is to invest in as few stocks as possible, all right? Now, I'm sure you're all aware of Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett and how they run Berkshire Hathaway. But for a long time, Warren and Charlie actually didn't own that many stocks. Actually, they only owned like 3 or 4, you know, key stocks, maybe a couple others, some trails, but like really the majority was in a couple stocks that they knew were good businesses. So that's what you have to do. If you wanna become a good investor, you really have to invest in as few stocks as possible. The way to do that is just to keep looking, to keep doing research every single day, as much as you can, on the businesses that you think are just wonderful businesses. As an example, let's take Tesla. I think Tesla is an amazing business right now. I think they're completely undervalued. I mean, right now, yes, due to the pandemic a little bit, but they're only worth about 70 or 80 billion dollars right now. And I just think that's a complete undervaluation. I mean, this company will probably be worth $1 trillion in the future, in the next 10 years. Actually. So, I mean, you can look you know, at ARK Invest CEO Cathie Woods on YouTube. She talked about that quite a lot, and they did a lot of good research on that. And there's basically a couple points. Tesla is far ahead of any competition in terms of, you know, batteries, okay? In terms of their technology, it's just, no one can make an EV like the Model S, which was made like 8 years ago. Like 8 years ago. And still, no one can make a car that's as good as the Model S. I mean, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So, I mean, there's some competitive advantage there that, you know, a couple people are missing. So it's very hard to catch up with Tesla at this point. They're building their gigafactories, you know, they opened one in Shanghai, they're building one in Berlin. They are just ramping up production everywhere. Like, regular automakers, you know, they're very good at making regular cars, but making an EV is completely different, and you know, they're gonna have a tough time catching up, no matter what the bears say. A second point is like, well, they don't sell that many cars, right? Like, how are they gonna make money? Well, first of all, they're selling more and more cars every year. I mean, last year they sold more of the cars than the past 2 years combined. I mean, it was a very impressive year. But it's not just about the cars, okay? Yeah, cars make a lot of money, and certain cars will have very big margins, like the new Roadster, okay? That costs like $300,000, even though it doesn't cost that much to make. So the profit margin on that one will be much bigger than on the Model 3 or the Model Y. Although the Model Y will have bigger margins than the Model 3. And the Model Y, the compact SUV, is the car everyone's waiting for. And that just started just started deliveries, actually. That's one point, but the next point is actually autonomous ride-hailing. Now, people forget that Tesla is leading the way in autonomous driving. One day, it will come very soon, that Tesla will switch all of its cars to a fully autonomous driving. They have the best chips in the world for autonomous driving, okay? People from NVIDIA, okay, they cannot make such good chips because Tesla is making these very powerful chips just for their specific software, for their neural net, for their autonomous driving cars. Now, NVIDIA has to make chips that are kind of compatible with everything, so they're not going to be as powerful as Tesla's chips. So that's some of the most advanced, chip design in the world. So no one can keep up with that. And they have all the data. I mean, they own almost all of the ride-hailing, the autonomous driving data in the world. They have over 1 billion miles driven already. I mean, I think it was Waymo that had I think 1 million miles. Something pathetic. It's like nothing. Like Tesla has so much more, and they're getting more and more. The more cars you have on the road, the more you get every day. It's very, very powerful. So I think Tesla is something to watch out for, and you can start to analyze companies like this, You got to look at also competition, where they are, what competitive advantage do they have compared to, their competition. And there's a lot of factors, it's not the easiest thing in the world, otherwise everybody would know what to invest in. But you just gotta keep pitching, it's not like baseball, you gotta basically miss almost everything until you find the right thing that you understand. So do not be afraid to miss out on something, all right? Please don't be afraid. Because if you invest in everything, you're basically just investing in the market. And no one wants to invest in the market because that's just insurance for ignorance, basically. You're not really making any money off of that. So if you identify a couple key businesses, that's like 3 or 4 key businesses, or even one, is actually safer than investing in the market, because the market will tumble, with the recession. And yeah, it'll come back up, but the gains will be very mediocre. And if you want mediocre gains, that's fine. It's completely fine. It's very safe. But to me, it's even safer to invest in a wonderful business that is an incredible business. So please, try to identify that key business. And if you can't, that's fine. Keep doing it. Keep doing more research about companies. And if you invest in Tesla now, it's worth $80 billion. And one day it's worth $1 trillion. Well, you've turned your dollar into way more than $10 actually. So, it's more like $12. So if you invest only in a couple stocks, you'll really make a lot more gains. Because the market, it grows. It grows quite a lot. But it doesn't grow that fast. I mean, if you want to invest in the market, the S&P 500 index, that, grows about 7.1% annually, with dividends reinvested, adjusted for inflation. So 7.1% a year, over 30 years, you'll get about a 10-fold increase. But you have to wait 30 years, instead of just waiting less than 10 years for Tesla. So, but if you have the time, you'll make money for sure. Just invest in the right, wonderful companies. Because compound interest is very powerful, all right? You can invest in the market if you want, and you'll get a lot of money. You just have to wait a long time. Because compound interest is slow, okay? It's an exponential. First it goes, it looks like a linear thing. It basically doesn't move, and then it skyrockets. A bit like this coronavirus epidemic right now. At first there was no cases, a couple cases, and blam! It goes all the way up, and it explodes. And that's a bit how you build your wealth with compound interest as well. You just have to be very patient, keep reinvesting your dividends, and that's it. Now the second tip I want to tell you is to save money and make as much money as you can on the side. There's a lot of ways to make money and a lot of ways to save money. All right? You always have to think, if you're about to spend $5, for a Starbucks coffee, that $5 is actually worth $50 30 years from now. So would you want to spend $5 now or $50 in the future? And you can look at everything like this, basically. So just don't waste money. Reinvest it. You can use, an online service like Mint, to keep track of your expenses. That's a great way to do it. So just keep track of your expenses. Start saving as much money as you can. But also earn as much money as you can, okay? You can do a lot of side jobs. I've looked a lot at what you can do. Now certain things are a bit of a scam, like like websites like Survey Junkie. You know, Survey Junkie is not a scam. It's legal, everything's legal about it. But you won't really make much money off of that. It's good if you get a couple surveys in once in a while, but you won't make much money. There are other ways to make better money, let's say. And you can do dirty jobs. Dirty jobs accumulate very quickly, especially if you're young. So to everybody out there who's like 18 or 20, 22, like please start as early as possible, because that's when you really want to do as much as you can and leverage everything you can. All your skills, leverage them. You can go to a site like flexjobs.com. Lots of jobs on there. So that's one way to earn money on the side. You can also look at the situation you're in right now. I mean, we're in the middle of a recession, basically. But there's always a couple winners during the recession. Like Amazon. Amazon is hiring 100,000 employees right now. 100,000. You could be one of them. Work in a warehouse. Yeah, it's not beautiful, but you're making quite a good dough on the side. Or Domino's. Domino's is hiring 10,000 people. A lot of companies right now are hiring a lot of people, because of the situation. Everybody's living from home. Everybody's working from home. Companies like Zoom and Slack are also hiring like crazy. So look at the opportunity that you have. Okay, look, are we in a recession or not? If you are, that's great. Look at what opportunities you have, okay? Go to Amazon, go to Domino's, make some money on the side. Forget about your pride for a minute. And then just do that. Invest as much as you can. And over time, you will build wealth. I can assure you, it's not that complicated. So if you follow these tips, I'm sure you can do it. So again, to recap, my 2 tips on making $1 turn into $10 is invest in as few stocks as possible that you know are great businesses, okay? Invest in 3 great companies rather than 20, and learn the power of compound interest over time, okay? Be patient. And tip number 2 is save as much money as you can and earn as much money as you can on the side, okay? Hustle your way to the top. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some hustle. Use stuff like flex jobs. Do babysitting, do whatever you can, okay, to make that side money. Invest that, it will grow. Believe me. Thank you. So as always, thank you for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, click the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, otherwise you will miss my upcoming videos. It really means the world to me that you watch my videos, and I hope that you will gain as much wealth as you can and invest as wisely as you can, okay? Always think smart, alright? And yeah, see you in the next video, alright?